Hey, hoes. So we went to see Superman. My 2 cents. I went in with no expectations. As a fan of the Zack Snyder verse and a fan of the Zack Snyder vision for the Justice League, I was kind of not really thinking too much about this movie, but I did actually enjoy it. It reminded me a lot of the animated Paul Dini cartoon from the early or late mid to late '90s, The Adventures of Superman. It gave me a very much live action version of that. Also took me back to the old school Superman movies with Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder. Again, I really, as a boomer, excuse me, not a boomer. Ooh, I'm old, Xer. I really enjoyed that kind of parallel to the old school Superman movies. I love the chemistry. I love the casting. The chemistry between Clark and Lois reminded me of the chemistry between Margot Kidder and Christopher Reeves in the original Superman movies. I loved the inclusion of the Wildstorm characters from the Wildstorm universe. I'd like to see more of them included as we go forward in this new DCU. Maybe the Wildcats or the Gen 13 kids. Like that, I would love to see that. That would be cool. I love to see Crypto, badass Crypto. I did think that they relied heavily on Crypto in this movie. I understand they want to bring more of the supporting Superman family into the this universe, but Crypto, I was expecting to see more of in the Supergirl movie. Not so much in this one. I think he was used, like I said, a little bit too much. I think the plot was a little lacking. I understand that they took that from a comic book storyline from the early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. But I did enjoy the political parallels to what's going on now with that. I did see the memes about Trump and Superman. Trump is not Superman. If anything, Trump would be more Lex Luthor, as pressed as he was. But some of the other things that I was kind of side eyeing in the movie was Guy Gardner. I liked the inclusion of Guy Gardner. He was pretty much true to the comic character or the animated character versions of the character. That wig though was atrocious. I do look forward to seeing him moving forward. I do like the inclusion of the other Justice Society characters. Mr. Terrific was probably my favorite out of everybody in the movie. But the other thing that I found a little odd was Superman was getting his ass beat in this movie, and I was like, I understand y'all to make him look human, but is he even Kryptonian? Because I was like, God damn, this man is getting his ass whooped. But yeah, he definitely was less super than the Zack Snyder version. The other thing I would say going forward is I like that they made this brighter because the Zack Snyder version was very dark. I do like that they made this brighter. It did remind you of Metropolis. It's very colorful, very comic book themed in terms of the shooting. It gave you a lot of the action sequences that you would see in a comic book. It reminded you of some of the fighting panels or fight scenes, reminded you of some of the panels you would see in a comic book. But with that being said, I don't want to see every DCU movie shot like this. Like going forward, Batman needs to be dark. So if y'all need to pull in Zack Snyder to do that or somebody, Tim Burton or something, I don't know. But I don't want to see Superman with Batman with bright colors and all of this other shit. Wonder Woman, shoot that like Game of Thrones or something. I don't want to see every movie shot in the same manner as Superman. And as far as the shoot or going for like Zack Snyder, I actually would like to see Zack Snyder take on another property since it didn't work out with the DCU. Maybe he could do GI Joe. I would love to see his version of a GI Joe or Visionaries, some of those older 80s cartoons, Bionic 6. I mean, any of those cartoons I would love to see his take on. But as far as Superman, I didn't. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would give it a solid B minus. I would see it again. I would recommend it.